Alright, everybody. I have gone and rinsed these like twice already. You just want to kind of get the blood out of them. So you rinse them, and then you want to put some vinegar in them. And then let the vinegar sit in there a few minutes. You know what I'm saying, about 10 minutes. That vinegar is cleaning them. Clean them up all nice and good. See that? Makes them look good, huh? We got us a nice big pot of them too. We're gonna be eating good. So now we're just gonna let it sit, and then I'll come back and rinse them off. All right, everybody, we're gonna go ahead and start chopping up our veggies while our oxtails are over there sitting in the vinegar and water because I was cleaning them. So let's get these started, okay? So I'm just gonna go ahead and chop everything up. Okay, let's get to chopping these vegetables now for these oxtails. I think this is probably the hardest part of the whole dish, is doing all the chopping. But I love to chop, so hey, that's just me. Whenever I go to my friend's house or family's house and they're cutting something, I'll be like, I always volunteer to chop because I don't mind chopping. As long as they got a nice sharp knife, I'm good to go. So anyways, we're gonna get to these vegetables. I have chopped up 2 red bell peppers, 2 green bell peppers, and we're gonna do a whole white onion, a whole red onion. We're gonna do some green onions, and like 3 or 4 tomatoes, and put some bay leaves in there and season them all up. And we're gonna cook these oxtails in this Instant Pot, and let me tell you, they're gonna be so good. They're so easy to do. Man, you gotta try it. I'm telling you. But don't forget to like and subscribe if you like what you're watching. It really helps me out. Then I'll make more videos. But yeah, it's gonna be so easy. Now, those of you who don't know about oxtails, it's just a cut of beef. It's the oxtail. And if you've cooked beef before, you know that sometimes you can get a tough cut, and all you have to do is cook it longer, and it gets more tender. Same thing with oxtails, and you could cook them in numerous ways. You could cook them on top of the stove. You could cook them in the oven. You could cook them in the slow cooker. And you can cook them in an Instant Pot. And today, I'm cooking them in an Instant Pot. We're going to pressure cook them. Alright? And they come out really good. Really good. Also, there's many ways of cooking them as well. Like today is just my regular down-home kind of oxtails. This is how I make them. But I also make oxtails with like an Asian influence. And they come out good. They spicy. Ooh, they come out real good. I love it that way. And sometimes when I make oxtails this way, I do a little pot, a little extra pot, if I want it, for me. But anyways, so they're doing our purple onion now, dicing it all up. I like watching it fast, chopping and stuff. I just think it looks so cool. Sorry about that, I had to pause. Anyways, so today in this Instant Pot, we are going to make some magic, you guys. After we cut up this tomatoes over here, we're going to get on to our garlic, and then back to those oxtails, because they'll be ready to get started and get browned. Okay? On to the last of it, which is the garlic. You can either press it, dice it. You can put it through one of those garlic squishy things. You can actually run it across a little microplane as well too. Any way you want to do it. People think you have to be so specific when you're cooking, and you don't. A lot of times you just cook how you feel. You cook in your heart. Yeah, you follow a basic recipe, but other than that, however you feel. If you know your family loves a certain season and you do too, incorporate it into the foods that you love. I'm telling you, there's no right or wrong way to. Okay, you guys, now we're just going to go ahead and rinse off these oxtails. They've been in here sitting in this water with the vinegar all in it. Some people like to clean them with lemon too. We good. We ain't doing all that. It sat in here for about how long? How long do you think it's been sitting for? I've been sitting for a while. Huh? Yeah. Yep. So it's good. It look all nice. Water's running clear, so that's what you want. We're gonna get the brown in these next. Now we're gonna make our seasoning. Some people like to just sprinkle it all on top, on top of the meat, a little at a time. I do too sometimes, but when I'm doing a lot of meat, I kind of just want to make my seasoning in a separate bowl, and then pour everything over it that way. So we put in 2 tablespoons of granulated onion, 2 tablespoons of granulated garlic, and we're gonna put in about 1.5 teaspoon of this sazon seasoning. That's some good seasoning. I don't know if you ever had it before. You want to try it. It's just like seasonal and Lawry's and all that, but it's a little different. Basically it has salt in it. So, but it's good. Over here I put 1 tablespoon of paprika. And then we're going to put the 2 tablespoons of black pepper. You might think that's a lot. We don't think it's a lot. It kind of all balances out. Right here, I didn't have any fresh thyme sprigs, so I use thyme I had in my cabinet, which is just fine. And I put about a teaspoon of that in there as well. We're going to mix it all together, and then we're going to pour it on to the oxtail meat, and then we're going to work that seasoning in. Don't be afraid to use it now. Take a look at it like, ooh, it smells good. Just the season alone, getting worked into that meat smells good. We're going to reserve some of that seasoning, though, for all those vegetables that we cut. Because we want to work some of that into the vegetables so they can get seasoned. They'll be sitting on the side for a while, so why not season those too? Just mix that in a little bit. And let it sit. Oh yeah. The fun starts soon. We get to browning this meat. Adding in our garlic. Next, we're going to go ahead and add some oil to our pan. I'm putting it in my cast iron Dutch oven here. Make sure you heat up your pan first, and then put the oil in. This is some Maggies browning sauce. I put about a tablespoon in. It just makes the color a lot more richer and darker. And I put in some soy sauce. Now, if you have dark soy, that's even better because it's darker and richer. Probably about a tablespoon of that, and also the Worcestershire sauce. We put about a few sprigs up in there. Splashes, I should say. So now, don't be afraid. This is brown sugar. Okay? All we're going to do right now, we're trying to cook that brown sugar a little bit, get it to melt and stuff. And don't worry, it's not going to be burnt. It's not going to taste burnt. It's not going to taste sweet. It's just an old-fashioned trick to brown some meat. Get it nice and browned and get that caramelization going on the bottom of the meat. Don't be afraid of the meat. That meat ain't gonna do nothing to you. Soon as that meat hit that pan at high heat, oh my goodness. It smells so good. So now we're just going to be browning. Your pan should be about medium high, I should say. You know your pans. You know what you're working with. So I'm just kind of moving the meat around, you know, making sure it's not sticking, move it around, make sure you're getting some of that caramelization going around. Yes, it smells real good up in here. Now, I've added a little bit of oil at the bottom of that Instant Pot. Very little. Like a teaspoon, maybe. I just put some in there. But I've been browning that meat for about 10 minutes. As you can see, it looks beautiful. Smells beautiful. And then what I'm going to do now is just that, I put the juice from the pan. There goes all our veggies in there. Don't that look good? Now that Instant Pot right now, while I'm putting everything in here, is on saute. Just so it won't stop the cooking. You know what I mean? I'm just making sure I'm putting in my veggies and make sure them veggies fall through. And get all up in there. And in goes our stock. I put in, I think 4 cups. You can use chicken stock, beef stock. I actually use both. I always keep stock. Or bouillon cubes or bomb too. So I use beef and then I use chicken. and poured it in there. All right, once it's all in there, let's turn this baby on. So now, canceling out the saute, hit pressure cook. Wanted to cook it for about 45 minutes. And that's perfect time. Leave it for 45 minutes. And then when it's done, let the pressure go down by itself. Don't do the quick release. Let the pressure release on its own. As you can see, I let mine sit for like 30 minutes after it was done. I let the pressure release on its own. There you go. I squirted some ketchup in there. Yeah, it might look funny to you, but I'm telling you, it adds to the thickness. It adds to the richness. It just does something to it. It doesn't taste all ketchup-y either. So right now, I have the Instant Pot on saute as well. I'm letting it cook a little bit longer because I'm adding these things in. So I still want it to be cooking. Yeah, just a little bit more of the little garlic powder in there. A little bit more of the onion powder. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more recipes like this. Now that was my my Creole season. That's that Tony Chachere's, however you say his name. That's his seasoning. I like that seasoning too. So I let it cook on here for another about 20 minutes, 15 minutes, just to get all them seasons married in there and cooked all together. And there we have it. Those are my oxtails. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe.